Hello, it's Nathan, and welcome back to the One Meal Channel. A channel where people from around the world converge to watch a 20-something-year-old from the Midwest make a massive pile of food that's enough to feed a family of 3. If you're new here, people who have been watching for a long time, they agree that the best way to watch videos like this is with food of their own, maybe with a beverage. Some people even listen to this before they go to sleep. So grab yourself your food or beverage and let's get on with the video. Hello. As you can see, we have brought bacon back into our diet. We cut it out about a month ago. It is back, making a return by popular demand, but not just popular demand. We're making breakfast burritos today. For those of you who don't know, I got moved from I have 2 jobs. I have a work from home job and I have an out and about job. And that out and about job was just 2 days a week and it was graveyard shift. We're now moving away from the graveyard shift over to a swing shift. So it is about 10 o'clock in the morning right now. It is the weekend. I have some swing shifts that I'm moving into. And these swing shifts are actually going to be 40 hours a week. So I've let them know that I'm actually not really interested in taking on a full-time position, even though I am working full-time hours right now. And I'm in the process of interviewing at some new work-from-home companies or businesses so that I can leave this out-and-about position. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks that will work out and I'll be able to go back to just one job. Regardless, let's keep the breakfast burritos in our diet because I haven't had them in a really long time and I would really like to continue this. So 1 whole potato, put it into the bacon grease. There's going to be some significant water content mixing in with the fat. It's going to lead to some splattering. Turn this light on for you. It seems like just last week we hit 600 subscribers, and now we are really close to hitting 650. So I just want to give you all the credit that you deserve. So thank you for getting us to this point. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're not even halfway through the year, and it looks like we are going to hit our number. So again, I will continue to make content like this 5 days a week. If I get that work from home job and I can quit my out and about job, I think we'll still stick to the 5 days a week schedule, and that way I have a little bit of a buffer in case there's I only eat 1 meal a day, which means I kind of only have one opportunity to make a video. And if Noah and I have a roommate for new people joining, if Noah and I are, say, like working in the garage on some vehicle projects, it gets late, I miss my upload time, and we get food at a restaurant or something like that, that kind of ruins the upload schedule, doesn't it? So I think we'll stick to 5 days a week. I'm open to being convinced otherwise, but regardless, this 5 days a week schedule has worked really well. I was thinking about what I was going to talk about during this video. It's not something that I struggle with, but I just noticed that a lot of the things that I've been talking about video to video have been kind of repetitive. And it's been beneficial to new people because we have new subscribers joining us every single day. But I'm sure that a few people have been thinking to themselves, they're like, gosh, this guy's kind of repeating himself. He's always repeating why he started this one meal channel. He's always repeating the same type of topics about why he chooses the meal he does, so on and so forth. And it actually reminded me of, right when I graduated high school, I just decided that I wanted to get into the business world. Originally I wanted to be an engineer. I went to one of the top colleges or trade schools in the country for renewable energy technology. I was going to work on wind turbines. It's a 2-year program. About 6 months into the program, they give you opportunities to chat with executives over at these wind turbine farm companies to kind of learn what the industry is like. And once I was chatting with General Electric and a couple of other companies, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm going to be making a huge mistake if I enter into this role. Don't get me wrong, the money was great, but they fly you basically all over the country. You work, 5 to 7 days a week, and you climb up a ladder to the top of a wind turbine, and you work on an engine inside of the wind turbine. Fun fact, every one of those wind turbines is powered by a diesel generator in the base that, runs off of diesel, and none of those wind turbines can function without diesel, which I thought was kind of counterintuitive. That was a weird thing to learn. But anyway, I digress. The point is, the opportunities that I have and the future growth and development, basically the only roles I can move into is being a farm manager, and from there maybe even an executive. And I was thinking, gosh, this is just kind of a weird career to be in, where all of the decisions of my life will be dictated by other people, and I kind of just have to follow along, do my job well, and I don't really have any sort of independence. This channel certainly never would have been a thing if I had done that. And so I left that role, but I didn't have any sort of connections and other opportunities, so I just picked up odd jobs, like worked for some moving companies. But I decided to join a public speaking group. This wasn't like a club. This was full of people that were really successful. And being as a young guy, I said, this would be useful for me. I can join this public speaking group. I can learn how to speak confidently, speak to a large group of people. This will be really useful to me. And the first thing that I noticed after going to these events, I'd go at least twice a week, is that the people that would speak would be usually the same people, and then they would bring on others, afterwards, maybe a 2-hour session. And the first hour, the same person would speak, and they would say the same things every single time. I'm not mentioning this to you because I don't want to teach you public speaking skills, because frankly I don't think I'm a very good resource for that. But immediately I was confused as to why this would be valuable to me, because they're just kind of saying the same thing every single time. Of course public speaking is going to be easy if you have practice twice a week, every week, speaking for an hour, saying the exact same things to more or less the same group of people every time. Then yeah, if you do that for 2 straight years, by the time you get to that second year, you're going to be able to do that, no problem. And of course your confidence is going to, of course you're going to have confidence when you speak, because you're not really saying anything unique. And I just thought that was so counterintuitive. I was like, how is this valuable? How is this useful to me? Well, here I am speaking to a group of people on YouTube. I've been doing this for about 6 months now. And I'd say about half of all of the things that I say are repeats of what I've said before. And the reason why I repeat myself isn't because I've run out of things to say. It's because I get asked a lot of the same questions pretty often. And it's taken some time for me to adjust and, stop being frustrated or impatient. You're why am I saying the same thing over and over again? It's no. I'm saying the most valuable things that I could possibly say to a group of people that are interested in the things that I say. But, you look at the naming convention, it's just the one meal with a number. What are the odds that you're going to go back and rewatch all of these previous videos? It's not really something, that's not a responsibility that you should have, to watch previous videos and learn what I have to say. If I wanted that, I would name my videos differently. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, although I can be repetitive about, I eat 1 meal a day because I get tired no matter what I eat, and I work a sales job, so I need to be at the top of my game whenever I'm having conversations with people. I can't be sleepy on meetings. I can't feel lethargic. I want to have a diet where I'm eating healthy things and I'm not eating out. I'm not getting a lot of food delivered to me. And if I do that, and I want to incorporate everything consistently, then I'm going to eat 1 meal a day. It's going to be full of things that are healthy to me, and I'm documenting my progress on how I accomplished that. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and I've only been making videos on it for about 6 months, and my roommate motivated me to make this channel. After I started repeating myself, telling that story, we started getting a lot more subscribers because, for whatever reason, I say that as if it's not important. Different viewers have different reasons why they watch the channel. And it's not my responsibility to put that reason onto you. It's your responsibility to come up with that for yourself. My job is to give new people a reason to subscribe and keep coming back, and give people that have chosen to come back something entertaining to complement whatever they're doing throughout the day. So for some people, like my roommate watches my videos, and he spends a lot of time, on his computer for work, and also just in his personal life working on projects. So when he's not in the garage working on vehicles, he is like listening to my videos along with like other people. He doesn't play any chess, and neither do I. But we both watch Gotham chess videos because he's entertaining. He lets us know what's going on in the chess space with some of the most intelligent and talented people in the world at chess. He dumbs it down for us stupid folks to understand somewhat what he's talking about, and he does so in an entertaining format. For me, none of the things that I'm cooking really require you to have a whole lot of intellect, and that's kind of the point. It's fun to watch Gordon Ramsay videos and Bruno Alpice, who trained him. Anyway, there are a lot of great people that cook out there. But let's be honest, if we tried to do any of the things that they did, we might be able to produce something at the end, but it's certainly not going to be to the quality that they have because they have so much training. They're so good at it. You don't need to be good at cooking in order to cook the things that I cook. Some of you have watched and you have adjusted your own way of cooking to be similar to my format, and many of you have given your advice on how you cook today, and I've adjusted my format. And I really do appreciate all that, because without your contributions, this channel would not be what it is today. So I just wanted to mention that. I'm reflecting on kind of like my past experiences. I stayed with that group for a couple of years. But the entire time I just thought it was so strange that the majority of the time that I spent there was listening to somebody basically repeat themselves over and over and over and over again. If I had to, basically when I left, I considered my experience. I left because I moved away, so I couldn't travel to the location they were speaking at. It was pre-COVID, so we weren't doing things like remotely or on Zoom and things like that. But what I took away from like the experience is that it is a skill in and of itself to be repetitive in your speech and to make it sound spontaneous, if that makes sense. Because nobody likes listening to somebody who's reading off a script, and if you're saying the same thing every day, it can sound like you're just going through the motions. So it's a talent in and of itself to say things repetitively over time in a manner that doesn't sound like a reflex, and in a manner that doesn't sound like you're going through the motions. It actually sounds spontaneous. So, people that repeat themselves all the time that, we like are like comedians, for example. They have a 1 hour spot. They say more or less the same thing over and over and over. Everything's scripted. Even moments where there are hecklers and moments where there are, quote unquote, unscripted moments. They've game plans and they've practiced leading up to that point what they should respond if they encounter certain scenarios. And they do that because they've practiced repeating the same things over and over and over again. And there's a lot of value in that. I don't know if you guys remember growing up, but with my dad had his phrases, right? And if he encountered a certain scenario or a certain circumstance, you knew one of your dad's phrases was gonna come out. And around the 50th time that you heard it, you got so annoyed with it. You're like, oh my gosh, Dad, even my friends know what phrases you're going to use now. Now I look forward to those phrases when I go and I see him on the holidays or for my birthdays or whatever time I go and see him. I really do look forward to those phrases because it's humanizing. It's a part of his system. It's like his comedy routine. And he's not a professional, so he's not supposed to sound professional. But he has a routine of things that he says and he's repetitive of. And it's something that everybody can listen to and everybody knows him for. So I've stopped judging as much and thinking about what I'm not getting out of it. And I'm thinking about a lot more about all the new people that are coming around, listening to these types of things and being invested in the person that's saying it. I'm at the point in my life where I'm going to start using this more. I mean, again, with the channel, I've been saying a lot of the same things over and over and over again. And now I'm actually starting to enjoy it. Okay, let's get these onions out here. And we'll get our eggs moved in. Yeah, for you longtime viewers, this is probably quite nice for you to see, because you're getting kind of a we're cooking everything separately and individually for once, rather than putting it all into one big pan, squashing it together, which we could have done. Let's be honest, we could have done. But I'm a bit particular with my burritos, as you know. If I'm a bit particular with my burritos, we gotta have a process. Luckily, this seems to be coming together pretty well. Let's see, how far are we into the video? 15 minutes? Yeah, it'll take us about 5 minutes to put the burritos together. I'm pretty happy with this. So I say that we make a scramble. I think that would be a good way to do this. Scramble up our eggs, and then we'll add our rice in afterwards, because, I mean, a breakfast burrito with onions, potatoes, and bacon would be good enough as it is. But again, like I said, I only eat one meal a day, so we're going to have 2 kind of mega burritos, and I'm going to need to add some rice in order to get my calorie intake for the day, because if I have any less than that, I'm not going to be eating enough. Just a quick update for you. I mean, I'm about 175 pounds. I've been down as low as 165, and let me tell you, like, I look good when I'm at 165. But if I drop any more weight below 165, because I'm not like going to the gym and I'm not like exercising regularly in general, I can just look a little thin. You know, no grandmas would be happy to see me at 165. So I'm at 175. The way that I like the way my body looks the most is 185, but that's with probably 10 additional pounds of muscle for where I have now. You know, maybe even like 15 or 20 pounds of muscle with like a weight drop of 10 pounds, if that makes sense. It's probably where I think I look my best. So I was 165 pounds when I was in high school, like my freshman year. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to the viewers of the channel, but yeah, when I was in middle school, I sprouted up to like 5'10", and people were telling me to play basketball, and I just had like never played before, and it was not something that I was good at, so I didn't end up doing it. But I was really tall for somebody in middle school, and then I got into high school, and I just didn't grow at all ever since. I just stayed 5'10". Till where I am today, and haven't grown at all since then. So I ended up getting up to about 200 pounds in high school because I was playing football, which you can imagine going from like 165 to 205, which is about the biggest I was. Just absolutely cut, not an ounce of fat on me. Playing sports, middle linebacker, and they actually had me on the offensive line, believe it or not. They had me as a guard. Offensive linemen are usually like bigger and have a little bit more heft and a little more weight to them. They put me in as a guard because I was just so fast and I had really good form and technique. And they're like, oh, this guy can actually block like crazy, so let's put him in there as a starter. It was really fun. But I was just absolutely yoked. And then, you know, you get out of high school, you stop working out, you sit at your office job, all that muscle mass, all that muscle definition is gone. And I'm just exactly the same weight that I was in middle school, looking about the same way, which is kind of a weird thing to think about. So yeah, ideally 185 is where I would like to be, so I don't look like a middle schooler. I do. I feel like it's weird to say because I don't look like a middle schooler. I look like a dude. But I remember what I looked like in middle school, and I look at myself in the mirror now. I was like, that's not much different. So I would love to get to a point where I'm at 185 consistently, keeping that muscle mass on, just so that I can like look at myself and be like, yeah, there's a change. There's a difference. If I don't eat this rice, I'll get back down to 165, but I don't want it. I don't want that. I like the way I look at 175, my imperfections, because it's just. I'm repeating myself again, but seriously, there's something about that where you're just like, hey, I work a corporate job, I work sales, I have responsibilities, I manage a bunch of money, and I look like the same that I did when I was a child. Okay, let's get this taken care of. I mean, we're kind of done. We're ready for the assembly process right now. Which is pretty nice. So I think just to make this easier, I am going to add everything that I have here minus the bacon into my meal. So let's kind of trim this here. Let's not lose any of that. Good. I don't know. Should I cut up this bacon or should I just put 2 strips in? Because there's something tasty, right? Something satisfying about biting into a burrito, getting some big strips of bacon in there. Don't you think? Don't you think? Nah, I think I should cut it. I do. I think I should cut it. I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let that grease seep itself into the rest of the rice. That way there's just kind of like less moisture, free moisture sitting around, and everything's just kind of absorbed into itself. So I like cooking usually I cook everything together because it just makes things come together quicker. But there's something about having that more like just egg fried rice by itself, with some potatoes and onions, rather than rice, potatoes, and onions with a bunch of egg slathered on top of it. So I'm going to cut up this bacon. I think I'm just going to enjoy that better. This bacon is a good combination of crispy and flimsy, which is nice. We're just going to cut this up into nice little strips. Look at that crunch. Yeah, this is perfect. Usually we do bacon end pieces. If I'm just going to cut all of this up into little pieces anyway, bacon end pieces are kind of the right way to go. But I've been missing these long strip bacon because there's just something about it. You feel like you're getting better quality. And I know you guys don't mind. Want things changed up a little bit. We have another bit of rice going as usual for tomorrow. Let's dry our hands here. Let's get a tortilla warmed up. I mean, these are massive. Look at that. I mean, this is a full-size dinner plate. This is my hand, pretty average-sized hand. I'm going to have my one curse word of the video. It's a big-ass tortilla. No other adults here. I brought out some soy sauce, I guess kind of out of habit, but I was also just thinking that maybe it would be good to add. I chose not to use it. Just didn't make sense. My whole purpose, my whole goal in making this food the way that I do is that it's just not dry, right? Dry is the wrong word for it. But I just don't want any additional moisture to be in there. I can't stress that enough. There's nothing worse than having a soggy burrito. So 5 strips of bacon, I thought that would be enough. But I'm looking at it, I should have just used the whole pack. You barely see that bacon in there, but we'll be fine. They don't counter calories because they usually come out to about the same amount every day, and I can tell if I'm, like after about 2 days of eating, if I'm not eating enough or if I'm eating too much. Just something that I've learned from doing this for 6 months. Gosh, I'm making a mess. Something I learned after doing this for 6 months is, well, yeah, I can tell just what my calorie intake is just from eating itself. Excuse me, eating the same thing every day. So there we go. Let's put this into a nice little pile here. Get our hands a little bit messy. And then I have my own sauce here. Noah and I both love sriracha, but I have my own, so I'm not too worried about getting it a little bit dirty like I did with my hands. So let's just wrap it all the way around. Have you seen those videos on Instagram or YouTube of the like super mega burritos that people do? And it looks like there's no way they're possibly going to get it closed, and they do get it closed. I want to be on that level because those burritos are even bigger than the burrito that I'm making right now. So I'll fold this in on itself. That's a good turn. It's a nice seal that it's going to make. This as well, good turn in on itself. I'll give this a little flip. And there. So I remember somebody commenting the last time I made burritos that they can get a good seal if they take these and put them back into the pan on themselves. And that's really good advice. I haven't had any issues with them. I know it looks like this is barely holding on, but once I put them in the refrigerator, I'd probably do that if I was just going to eat it like straight away. If I was going to eat this right now, I would put them back in the pan to seal them out. But since I'm putting them in the fridge, and then heating them up in the microwave after I get to work, they seem to keep their shape pretty well. So let's take this other tortilla, put it in there for about a minute. Let's get our measuring tool out. Yeah, that bacon is good. I am looking forward to it. Oh, that is nice. Oh my gosh, I haven't had bacon in a month. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's like crack. Which I don't have any experience taking, but my gosh. That is what I imagine crack is like. Okay. Let's get the rest of our food in here. Gosh, this looks so good. Just got such good color on it. The bacon is nice and crispy. Oh, this is going to be so good. I might not be able to wait for work. I'm getting hungry just looking at this. All right. Again, make a nice little heaping pile here. Pay close attention. Best part. Oh, that's good. Give ourselves a little flip, a little turn. Tuck, smush. We want it nice and dense. We're not here to impress anybody. We're not here to work at a restaurant. We're not getting paid by the hour here. So I'm not worried about being super quick with my assembly. Okay, and we'll get that inside tucked in. Get a little bit seeping out, and then fold tightly. Fold tightly. That's the importance of heating up these tortillas ahead of time, is you really want a lot of tension. And obviously tension leads to breakage without it being heated up. Let's turn it again. You can see right here, keeping it shape, hasn't fallen apart on us. It's like, I don't know if you've ever been to a Dairy Queen, but at Dairy Queen they'll turn your Blizzard upside down to show just how cold it is. We kind of have that technique here, where we turn our burrito upside down. And if it doesn't fall apart on us, then we know that it will keep its shape well enough for when we eat it. So the last thing that we want to do is get to work and then realize that we're going to have to use a fork. And that would be bad. So, let's wrap up our video, okay? Let's get our weight here. Let's do some on-the-fly mental math, which I'm not very good at. Let's weigh this. 1.67 pounds. That's nice. That's really nice. And then this one is 1.6, let's round up, 9 pounds. So that is officially the record of the closest weight that we have with our two burritos. 1.67 and 1.69. That's super good. You can't really get any closer than that. So I'm happy with that. And obviously that's well over 3 pounds. And this is one meal for me. This is just because it's two burritos doesn't mean it's 2 meals. This is one meal for me. It's just, if they made a tortilla large enough to fit everything that I need, I would use that. But they don't sell that in any of the stores around here. So this is our meal for the day. And this will keep us satisfied for an entire day until we reach tomorrow. So I appreciate all of you tuning into the video. As always, thank you. And if you're new here and you made it all the way to the end, I just want you to know you are in a very rare group of people who had done that. So I encourage you to subscribe. If there's anything that you recommend for future videos, let me know, and I will read the comments. I read basically all of them. So I appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.